Some travelers associate fall with the changing of the leaves, apple cider, and pumpkin pie. But some of us are looking for something that will really make our hearts beat faster. Even though the US has a lot of fake haunted houses, some people want to see real ghosts and ghouls on Halloween. People who like to be scared will be happy to know that the US is full of old houses with interesting and scary stories, and it's not hard to find real haunted houses if you know where to look. If you want a scary place to go on vacation, you might want to add one of the most haunted houses in America to your list. Some of these houses even let visitors tour them or stay the night. But before we start our countdown, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon as well. 10. Winchester Mystery House. The ghosts of people who were killed with a Winchester rifle are said to haunt the big old Victorian house on a busy street. That's a lot of ghosts, so the house's owner, Sarah Winchester, the heir to the Winchester rifle fortune and the widow of the company's founder, added room after room for the dead to live in. Winchester didn't just add rooms, though. Instead, she made a labyrinth with dead-end hallways, cut-off staircases, sloped floors, and a rabbit warren of rooms. 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 47 fireplaces, 40 staircases, 13 bathrooms, and 9 kitchens, says ABC News. Since Winchester died in 1922, people who want to walk among Winchester's ghosts have been able to take tours of his house. 9. Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. The Lizzie Borden house in Fall River is now a bed and breakfast. There is a picture of Lizzie Borden on the wall. People say that she still haunts the house where her father and stepmother were killed in Fall River, Massachusetts. Her ghost is said to laugh at the top of the stairs in the house. The house is now a museum and bed and breakfast with ghost cams, where brave guests can spend the night listening for Lizzie's ghost, the ghosts of her murdered parents, where she found them dead. 8. The Sallie House. If you watch shows about ghost hunting, you've probably heard of this famous haunted house. There are rumors that a demon who looks like a little girl lives in this home in Kansas. This is because the family had some strange things happen there. In the early 1990s, Deborah and Tony Pickman moved into a house they had just rented. They said they saw strange things happen there, like lights flickering, apparitions, possessions, voices they couldn't explain, and scratches, marks, and burns on their bodies they couldn't explain. The ghost of a young girl named Sallie seems to be behind these things. Bobby and Colleen Humbert, who used to rent the house, and their daughter Heather, who said Sallie was her imaginary friend, also said they had seen or heard her. 7. Villisca Axe Murder House. Villisca is a small town with about 1,252 people. It doesn't have much to offer tourists, other than a scary night at the Villisca Axe Murder House. In 1912, a horrible crime happened at the white wood-framed house. The parents, their 4 kids, and 2 of their friends were all killed with an axe. No one was ever charged with the bloody crime, even though there were several suspects, including an Iowa state senator. People say that their ghosts still live in the house and want to see justice done. Visitors who want to experience the paranormal can book tours of the site, and the bravest ones can stay the night and see what goes bump in the night. 6. The Whaley House Museum. James Yankee Jim Robinson was hanged by his neck in 1852 for stealing a lot of money. A few years later, Thomas and Anna Whaley built a house on the spot where Robinson died. Soon after, Yankee Jim's ghost began to haunt the house. People say that you can hear him walking around the house. Yankee Jim isn't the only ghost, though. Mr. and Mrs. Whaley, a little girl, and even the family dog have all been seen after they died. Time says that in the 1960s, the U.S. Commerce Department said that the Whaley House was haunted because it was so creepy. Ghosts and gravestones can give you a tour of the Whaley House Museum. Soon, the house will also be open at night for people who really want to be scared. Check the website of the tour company to find out when they open. 5. The White House. It's true that the president lives in the White House, but it's also said that many famous ghosts live there. People say that President Ronald Reagan told stories at dinner parties about how his dog barked at ghosts that couldn't be seen, and about how his daughter Maureen woke up to find a transparent figure looking out the window of the Lincoln bedroom. It could have been President Lincoln who went back to his old house to see if his wife or son was there. It is said that while Winston Churchill was getting out of the bathtub, he also saw the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Mental Floss says that Lincoln and his wife, Mary Todd, held seances in the White House to try to get in touch with their son Willie, who had died of typhoid, likely because of the water that was pumped into the White House. They never got in touch with their son, but they said they talked to President Andrew Jackson, who was hanging out in his old bedroom. 4. Franklin Castle. People say that this large Victorian house is the most haunted house in Ohio. It's easy to see why. Hannes Tiedemann, who was known around Cleveland for being cruel and abusive, built it in the 1800s. When several people in Tiedemann's family died in mysterious ways in the house, these rumors became true. Emma, Tiedemann's daughter, was one of the many people who died suddenly in the house. It seems she died because of problems with her diabetes. Then Tiedemann's mother and 3 more of his kids died. Louise, Tiedemann's wife, also died. It was thought that she died of liver failure, but rumors spread that Tiedemann was really to blame. There are also rumors that he killed other people in his family, like his niece, a possible daughter he didn't know about, and maybe even his mistress. When Tiedemann's wife died, he left the house soon after. 3. Biltmore. In the 1800s, George Washington Vanderbilt built this grand summer home. Since then, it has become known as one of the most haunted places in the state and the United States. Even though nothing too bad seems to have happened on the estate, the people who used to live there seem to be very busy, even in the afterlife. After Vanderbilt died in 1914, his children got his property, and they decided to open the house to the public. That seems to be when the trouble started. Visitors say they hear a woman's voice, possibly that of Vanderbilt's wife, calling his name, and some claim to have seen ghostly figures. There are also a number of hidden doors and passageways in the estate, which adds to the creepiness of the home as a whole. 2. House of Death. Except for one brownstone on West 10th Street, some of the most desirable real estates in the world is in New York's Greenwich Village. The townhouse, which is called the House of Death, is said to be haunted by the spirits of 22 people who lived or died there, including a 6-year-old girl whose adopted father beat her to death. But since it's in New York City, the house has also been home to some famous people. People say that author Mark Twain stayed in the house in 1900 and still comes back to visit every so often. In her book Spindrift, Spray from a Psychic Sea, Jan Bryant Bartell writes about her time living in the building's top-floor apartment and how haunted it was. The building is made up of private apartments, so you won't be able to tour the inside. However, this street is a popular stop on New York City ghost tours like the ones offered by New York Ghosts. 1. Bell Witch Cave. John Bell bought a piece of farmland near the Red River in Tennessee at the start of the 1800s. Bell and his family were doing well on the farm until they started to see animals with strange features, like a dog with a rabbit's head. From then on, Bell and his daughter Betsy were mostly the targets of attacks from unknown people. They were attacked physically, heard noises they couldn't explain, and even spoke with the entity, who, in at least one account, said she was the Bells' former neighbor Kate Batts, who was getting back at them from the afterlife for some unknown wrong. It is said that this thing stopped Betsy from getting married to a local boy and killed John. One website about the Bell Witch says that there is a lot of proof of the haunting, such as eyewitness accounts, affidavits, and manuscripts written by those who saw the haunting with their own eyes. These are the top 10 America's most haunted homes. If you liked the video, leave a comment and also subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching.